Hi, this is Lena making Bespoke Craft Designs. I'm wanting to do the cover today for the, I'm going to do several covers, but I'm only doing one on video for the autumn journals that I'm just doing at the moment, and I'm going to use some of this Amazon packaging for the base. They're going to be fabric covers, so these are, you know, a nice weight and a nice strength to do, and you know, a lot of the work's done for you because they're already, you know, almost to size, not quite to size these ones. You can use the bigger ones and cut them down because you've still got the shape. I've just been tidying my desk and I've put away my ruler, just bear with me. So where this flap goes down here, as you open it up, the front cover is slightly, I think it's about a quarter, yeah, it's a quarter of an inch difference there. But at this stage I don't cut it down so it's level with this bit. I'll leave the back bit slightly longer because we're going to be folding it different. We're not going to be folding it on this line here because we've obviously got to put a spine in. So what I do for a start is I cut this flap off. So I just make sure I get the crease line of the flap so I can see where it is, and I cut that off for a start. Oh. On the seam, my husband's making me laugh, I do apologise. Trouble is, once I start laughing I can't stop, and he was just making me laugh before I started the video, and now I can still hear him being daft in the background, which is lovely. We have so much fun together, but when I'm trying to do a video I really could do without him saying funny things and making me laugh. So I do apologise if you heard me laughing then. Just taking some of that edge off there. Yeah, so you can see now that there's a clear gap between the back and the front. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip off. Now, I'm just wondering if I peel it. Normally I snip it off first, but I suppose if I peel that off, that will probably open it as well. I've not done it that way before. I usually just cut it off. But yeah, that'll... Oh, that's a good idea. I've not done it that way before. I normally cut straight down here and then peel it off. You know, if there's a hard way to do something, I'll find the hard way. So yeah, so just basically open it up, and then you've just got these two bits here that need cutting off. So fold them back. Again, same thing, just cut down the seam. I mean, this is pretty straightforward, it's not... I've not actually watched anybody do it this way. I assume, I mean, I know they use packaging for them. I've seen them do folios and things with them. I don't know whether they use them for covers. I just thought it was maybe a lazy way of, you know, because a lot of the stuff that's already prepared for you. But what you've got then is you've got two sort of natural fold lines there, and they are the crease lines that are in it are not quite 1 3/4. Where's that? 1 1/2. Let's have a look. 1 1/2. Just 1/8 over 1 1/2. So I could actually go with that. But if I did that, oh yeah, I've got 6.5 each side then. So on this one, I haven't done that before. Oh yeah, but I haven't on this side. That's right, because I've got one side slightly longer. So that's why I didn't go with that. That's right. I'm confusing myself then, because I've left that edge on. So on the shorter side, I've only got 6 there, and I want 6.25. So, and on this side, if I was using that line, I've got 6.5. So one of these lines I've got to come in from by 1/4. Is 1/4 of an inch wider than the other. But I need that when I'm folding this, because this side isn't big enough. So what I need 6.25 each side. So let's work that out. And then what's left is my spine. That's how I've worked it out on these. So I'm going in on my scoreboard. You can just measure it if you haven't got a scoreboard, but I find it easier. I'm terrible with measuring, so I find scoreboard essential. So I'm going in, and I actually go one above. It's a 6.25, and then it's 1 more 1/8, because that's where the groove runs naturally when I put this in. So that's where I go with. And I give it a really good score, because like I say, I'm not using the original score lines. I'm making my own. So it wants to fold where they've got some fold lines in. I presume that's so that, you know, depending on what side package they have, they can then, and then what I do is I just turn it over and do the same again. Run down my made score line, so I make my score line quite prominent. So that's, just need to make sure that it's the newly made one that you're folding over. Don't get confused with the lines that are there. And then I turn it round, and I go on the non-busy side just because it's easier to see what you're doing. So I've left that up because that's my score line there. And then I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to go 6.25, and there's like a little dot on my scoreboard, and it's like 6.25 and then 1/8 in, so 1/8 further. So I'm going to go down that, and that actually runs right down the score line that was already there. So you do use one of the score lines, but I just make it more prominent so I know what I'm dealing with. And then I'm going to turn it over and just find it again and do that again. But as I say, I mean, some people are, you know, can just measure and they don't have any problems with it. It's a big hang up of mine. I can't measure to save my soul. I can't measure straight. We've just bought some new roller blinds, and we've decided to just, you know, not have ready-made ones this time. We had ready-made ones last time, but we're not having ready-made ones, just in the kitchen window. And they've come, they're bigger than the size I need, and I've got to cut them down. Oh, my husband said, really? Do you really want to be cutting them down? No, not really, but they're the ones I like, and I have to pay a lot more to have the same design, the same pattern in a made, you know, in a handmade one. So I'm not doing that. I'm gonna cut them down myself. I've been told it is very easy, but then it might be somebody who's very good at. I imagine if I have a good space and, you know, I lay the blind out flat and take all the, you know, the gummins off the ends, I should be able to manage to cut it straight, hopefully. Right, so just getting back to this. So now I've got my 2 crease lines. Obviously, by creasing them like this, I've got lots of lines going on, and it still naturally wants to fold down that middle one where it, you know, where it was originally folded, and I don't want it to do that. I'm just going to tell you what I've ended up with then. So I've now ended up with 6.5 at each side, and my spine works out at 1.25. Need to reinforce this. I always use duct tape just because it's my go-to. I find it strong enough. I mean, I'm putting fabric over these both sides, so that'll strengthen it as well. But just to strengthen the spine and strengthen, you know, reinforce my original, my score lines. What I like to do is put some of this duct tape on there. This is just perfect because it just goes over the score lines, so it's you know, if they're starting to weaken a bit, well, it would go over the score lines if I was sensible enough to. Actually, I'm going to have to leave that down there because I've only just caught that one. That's it, that's fine. I have caught it, I just haven't caught it as, I haven't gone as straight as I maybe could have done. As you can see, that's my score line there, and I've just gone to the side of it. But I'm going to do it again on this side, so that's fine. I want to make sure I actually get right across, but this is real tacky. I got a free one which was on a strip, wasn't in a roll like this, it was on a strip, it was in some magazine, and I've just finished using it, but it was really low tack. It wasn't like this. This sticks to everything, and you can't manage to, once you've stuck it down, it rips everything apart. So yeah, so that's basically now where my spine's going to be, and I'm just going to look at where I can see my lines through this. I'm just going to make sure I get the right ones. I mean, you maybe can't see on screen, but I can see just enough to fold them back in again, and then make sure I get the right ones. So that's there. Just make sure I've done that right. That's it. And then I've got a spotty spine at the minute, and that's ideal for my papers. I'll just get one of my signatures that's ready to go in. I've done 3 or 4 getting the covers ready. So yeah, so that's just perfect, and then a little tiny bit at the bottom and at the top. I will be putting lace and things on this, but I just find this is such an easy way. If I've got them, I don't always have these. I save them when I have. I've got a pile at the minute, so I've been doing some of these this morning. So I've now got 3 ready and waiting to go, and they're all the same size. That one actually, this one here, was as you can see, it was an A3 envelope. It wasn't the smaller one, but I've just cut it down to the same size, but that was an A3 one. So yeah, I've got them ready to go. I'll go with this one that we've just made now, and then I'm going to now look at choosing some oh, sorry if I'm knocking the camera. I'm going to look at choosing some fabrics. I couldn't get my tub on the desk, so yesterday I was having a look, and look what I found. I just think this is all I've got, but I just think this is adorable. It's just got the edge of a rabbit on, and it's got some carrots on it. It won't fit the journal cover, but I really do like it, and I think I'm going to include that in there somewhere. I've also got some of these cut-offs. Now, one of the charity shops near us is next door to an upholsterer's, so they donate all these little bits, and this one's a velvety one. It's only very small, not very big at all. I've just put my ruler away. Just to give you an idea of some of the sizes that you get. They're not massive. Right, so yeah, this is 7.5 or 7.25 inches by 6 inches, so it's just a bit more than a 6-inch square, and this is even smaller. This one's, just using that as an example, this one's a little bit bigger. So there's lots of these little bits that you get. I've pulled out, I don't know whether I'm going to use this, but this is like a real thick, I don't think it's that old, this, but it's got like an open weave in the middle. It's not lace, I don't know what material you'd call this, but it's got like a real thick crocheted edge on it. I might cut some of this out and use that, I don't know. I've got that because I just liked it. And then green is my favourite colour, so I found these little bits, just little cut-offs. I've got a friend, don't see her very often, but a group I used to be in. I used to attend a fibromyalgia group because I have fibromyalgia, and one of the ladies on there, she does dressmaking, and she always gives me her little bits. And I mean, they are only really little bits, but I've said to her, you know, if you don't need them, they're fine. I mean, they'd be fine for quilters as well, but she doesn't use them, so she said, well, they'll only be wasting. I can't bear that word waste, so I've got them, and I love the green. And I think that's where this one's come from, with the rabbit on. And then these again are from the charity shop, and these were bigger pieces, so these are what I'm dealing with. Just looking now, this, I think this is probably from a suite, you know, probably from that's what it feels like. It feels the thickness of like a settee covering. And I really like that one. So that was the size it was, and I've measured it against here, and it fits. Well, I measured it against the other one I was doing yesterday, almost perfectly. I mean, I might have to just put a little bit of lace at the edges. It definitely fits this way, but I might just at these edges, I might just have to, so if you can see there, it is really spot on there, but I would normally have liked it to go over so I can fold it. So if I use this one, and I think this is going to be my outside, and so the inside, I was thinking of having this maybe on the inside, and you can probably see it does just fit perfect, but it doesn't fold over that way. With it being too thick, I think it would be bulky anyway, so I'm going to cut it to size, and then I am going to sew around this. I'm going to sew these covers on, I think, just because of the thickness, and I want to really sort of, because I think they'll fray. So, and I desperately need some new pinking shears side cover, I think. But what I was going to say is that's the smallest piece I have. So, I think that one's slightly smaller. So for the inside cover, the choices are these three. And I haven't decided which one of these three I'm going to go with yet. So that's my inside cover. My outs, because I've shown you all those little bits that will be going on there to make pockets and things, I thought they were quite plain and they'd be fine. But then this is my outside cover, and as I say, this is more or less the size I'm going to need. This is my favourite at the minute for the actual outside cover, and as I say, I haven't got a lot of room here. This edge is like the salvage edge, but it's all frilly, so I'm definitely keeping that because I love it, and that is the salvage edge, but I think that's really, really good. So I'm just going to decide. I think we'll go with the Aran, the Amazon Aran, as my front. So if I was using this one, yeah, it just does cover, just does go over this one, and I really like that. So it's the choice of these two. I also like this mustardy one, but I haven't ironed this yet, so I'd have to iron that if I want me that, I think. I didn't realise it was as creased as that actually when I was pulling Marty's today. Yeah, I think I've made my decision. I think I am going to go with that one. Just looking at that again, because it needs ironing. I will get it ironed before. I've got my iron in here, but I don't want to mess about. So I think I'm going to go with that as my, as my base. It's got all leaves on it. It's lovely and thick and strong. It'll help reinforce the spine. And then what I'm going to do is decide now which one of these. Now I'm not going to go with that one because I thought the other one was the smallest one. This one, oh no, I can get it in. I could get it in if I wanted to. So I could use that one. So let's just have a look at what we're doing. That's the outside. I mean, I think that goes really well with it. I mean, obviously it'll be covered as well. Or I'll just put these on my knee a minute so I can. Or this is my favourite. I've got to say this is my favourite one. I don't know why I've just took such a... I think it's because it is sort of patterned, but it is very sort of neutral. And then I can enhance it with other things. Yeah, I like them two together. So that is my favourite. And then this was the other one I had, this stripy one. See, I like this as well. But the stripes would have to go that way, because there isn't enough width. So let's have a look. Oh, give yourself too much choice, don't you, sometimes? See, I like that too. No, I'm going to go with what I said originally, I think. But I've got 3 or 4 to do, so these will probably get pulled out again for them. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put those on top of my others, and then we're going to look at this. So I want that. I'm going to glue it down for a start, and then I'm going to sew round it and then cut off any excess, because I'll do a zigzag right round the edges, and then it won't fray as much. I definitely want that edge showing, so when it turns over we've just got that overlap in there. So I'm going to work with that first. I'm going to use that as my starting point there. I think I'm just making sure, sorry if you can see my shadow, I'm just trying to make sure I am really well in. Yeah. So I'm going to do that first. I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac straight down this side. I better use one that's, I've got one that's nearly finished and it's been stored upside down, but I'm not going to be faffing about with that on here. I can use that. Oh, that's a brand new one. Oh, that's not the one I want. Oh, so I have got 3 on the gas. I said that the other day. Oh, it's here. It's fallen. I thought I had 3 out for some reason. I think when I was moving them and putting them away, I've left a new one out. Instead of putting it in my... In fact, I better do that now. Put it in my glue. In my glue box. That's what I bet it was there for, to put in my glue box, and I haven't put it away. Let's just clean this lid off. And let's just get some of this down here, just to make sure I get right to this edge. Actually, I'm just doing this, and then I'm thinking of, I won't be able to, that wasn't what I meant to do actually, because I won't be able to, I don't think I'll get my needle through that, through Fabri-Tac. That's a point. So let me just, I'm going to bring that in slightly, like that. So that this one, I might just have to, I've glued that. Oh gosh, sometimes you do make mistakes. I seem to make more mistakes when I've got the camera turned on. What I'll do is, because I've left a lovely gap there, and just so it looks like it's being sewn, what I'll do is I'll actually sew this side of the board because it's secure enough on the Fabri-Tac. My intention was to Fabri-Tac the middle and glue all around the edge, but I've just glued that edge. I won't do it on that side and I won't do it there. So I'm coming in from the edge. Dear me. So I won't do that again. I'm hoping it'll go through all this with the card. I'm hoping it will. So sometimes I sew before I put, I don't go right to the ends where I'm going to sew. But because I wanted to do that on this one, so I use this packaging whether I'm using, you know, whether I'm sewing or not. And right, just want to make sure. I've just got a bit carried away there, forgetting what I'm doing. Yes, I won't go right to that edge. So luckily it was the edge with the fray on, so that's slightly different. Anyway, look, it's bringing the colour out of the tape. So I've got black glue going on now. Dear me. What a woolly. Let's give that a good stick down. So let's just make sure, let's just fold it and make sure it's not going to be pulling when I, so just tap it into place first. So you've probably all got a better way of doing this than I have. I'm not a professional. I do what I do for passion, and I just wanted to share how I do things. It's probably not the easiest way to do it, but it's the way I find. And then I've got that down now, and then I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off beforehand, before I get on the sewing machine. What I'm going to do is sew this alone. Sew this first all the way around before I then glue it down, and I'll sew this separately. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yep. Right, I'm back and I've put my front and back covers on. I've sewn round all the edges and inside and out. I had to sew the inside cover before I put it on. I had to sew it first because it had been too thick to do the two together. I've sewn in all my signatures. I'll move that out of the way. I've sewn in all my signatures, and I'm just left with a real short piece here down this side. So the first thing I want to do is cover that, and then I'm going to be, today I want to be covering, putting whatever's in the inside covers and covering the outside covers. So I think it's going to go over to another video because I think, you know, we're nearly far enough. So I'm just going to do this bit first and then see where we are. Let me just have a look. I've got some, oh yeah, I've got some pieces of vintage lace here, and I've got a couple of them. Just looking at one of those on this edge, but I want it to come off the edge so you can see it on the other side, and I think I'm just going to stick that on there. I'm not sure what I'm doing on the other side yet. I think this is going to fray quite a bit. I've got some new pinking shears. I wonder if, because I've just, you know how you just tear this, I'm just wondering if that would be better just pinked a little bit. I've gone mad pinking because I can. So normally I wouldn't do this, I'd just leave it to fray, but I'm just going to pink it just a little bit. So I'm in a, I can't say that word again, can I? Pinking mode. Dear, I'm just trying to get this finished. I need to get this done and then start on some Christmas journals that I've got lined up, ready to go. So yeah, so I do quite like that on there. I want it right on the edge. I don't want the cardboardy bit to show through the lace, so I want it to go onto there. So I'm going to do it with Fabri-Tac. I'll get that done. Probably get the inside cover done, and then I'll make one straight away, but I'll do the next video because I don't think I'll get everything in this one because there's quite a lot on it already. I've done it in bits and pieces, so I'm not really sure how long it is, but I don't want it to be much above half an hour. I think people lose interest, especially when you're, you know, when you're not really well known. I mean, I think if you're well known, then they'll probably watch whatever you did and whenever you did it. But you know, to get yourself out there, if ever you do, it's a bit of a difficult one. I might have to put something just over the top of that as well, because see what the glue does. The glue's showing a bit, but we'll leave that and see. But I do like the effect of that on the outside. Oh, I've just pulled that down a bit. I've just got it a bit high. Yeah, and then obviously I'm going to be having something maybe across there as well. That's just a bit high there. Right. Just work that down a bit. I'm just trying to pull it down. You do get a bit of wriggle room with Fabri-Tac, so I'm just trying to make sure I've only got the lace showing. That's it. And just rub that in. I do like how that's looking on there. That's looking really good so far. I'm just going to look at this inside cover then. I've put that on. I'm going to look at this. I got a load of these fabric pieces from the charity shop, and this little piece here, I really love this. So it was tiny, that's the size of it, and I got a bit bigger one as well, which I'm going to try and find a use for that. But I want to use this, but it's too small in there on its own, so I thought it was ideal. I also got this piece, so it's in with the colour, and I am going to just pink round this as well, and then I'm going to put that on there. I think that's what, but obviously it won't be as tall as this, so I'm just going to do that and see what that looks like on this backing, if I can do it straight. Now, me and cutting straight, it's not, these scissors are good though. So I don't know where my other ones went to. I mean, I've not used them really, and I don't know where they've gone to. They just disappeared. So I don't know whether they've maybe, well, I don't know. I honestly don't know where they were. They weren't mine, they were actually my mum's, and I got them with all, you know, when we cleared the house, and I don't know what I've done with them, because all the other stuff's there. Well, it isn't now, it's all been, you know, I've done what I've needed to do, and but I can't find her scissors. Oh, she did do a bit of dressmaking, but she mainly did knitting. But she had some pinking shears in there. I thought, oh, I'll keep those. And where they are, I do not know. Right, yeah. So I do like that with that pinking edge on it. And then I'm just going to cut off. So I'm not going to sew it though, I'm just going to leave a big edge round the sides, and then it'll give me a pocket there and a pocket behind there. So I think I'm just going to just do that so I can see where I want to be. And that's, oh, just hope it's lovely material this. This is definitely upholstery material. It's lovely. Lovely and smooth. Right, so, because I don't like velvet, I can't touch velvet, but it's not velvety. I can't touch velvet. Ugh. especially that crushed velvet. Oof, makes my hands feel all strange. Yeah, so I like that there. I just feel I want something else on there, but I'm not sure what. Do I want a bit more lace on that bottom? No, because then that'll take that effect away. No, I really don't want that on there. Oh, I know what I've got. I'd forgotten I'd done these. I've got some ruffles. I said in a previous video that I'd got some of this green material and it was only 2 tiny pieces, and so I've just put a bit of a ruffle together. Oh yeah, I like that. I might just put a ruffle there. And then I might come back and put a word or something. But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this dangling because I think I'm going to put a charm on there. So I'm going now. I don't know how well this is going to glue to this because it's going to soak in a lot. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping I don't have to go back and sew it because it's too materials. It should stick fabric to fabric, but we'll see. I mean, it has always done before, but these are quite thick fabrics, so we'll see, won't we? I've got it all over my hands. Let's have a look. Oh, I didn't do the bottom one. Oh, that was cleverly. Oh gosh, I'm having a day today. My head today. I've got some new medication and she's been trialing me on it, and it's a painkiller and she's up the dose, and I was fine until she's up the dose. Oh, well, I wasn't fine, I was still in pain, that's why she's up the dose, but I couldn't get my head off the pillow this morning. I felt so bad. So needless to say, it's maybe needs, I'm going to have to ask her if I can't feel like that, not when I'm my husband's main carer. I can't be feeling that bad in the morning, and I just literally couldn't get my head off the pillow, and it's been bad all day today. So yeah, I like that. Oh, it feels lovely. I love things that are tactile. I love to be able to touch them, and I just want a bit of that up there. Yeah, I think I do. Oh, I'm going to use me. She is, just because I had them in there and put them away. So I was just wondering, do I want it like that? Let me just have a look. I have to sometimes just put my book up. Or do I want it like that? Or do I want it like that? No, I think I want it there. I'm just going over all these bits because I want some of them to hang out. I don't want to cut them off. I'm going to put that there, like that. And then it just needs something up there just to finish it off, and then we'll call it a day on this one, but I don't know what I'm going to put up there. I've got some of this. Now this is really thick lace. It's really, oh yeah, I quite like that up there. You know, to do it that, take this bit off and just put it up there. It's what I glue it to. The ends have been, somebody's handmade this, I think, and it's really thick at this end. So I'm finding it very difficult to try and tear it apart to you know, to make it a bit thinner because it's so bulky. So I'm just going to try and trim this down. I should use it all in bits, but I just found it so bulky to use. In fact, I'm going to have to take that piece off because it's, I don't know where that'll go. Probably on an outside cover because it's really, really thick. So I've just gone with the thin bit, and I think I'm just going to put that just along there. I don't know where. I want it so it just peeps out the top really. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I want it there like that, but I don't know whether I've got enough to glue it to, so I'm just going to try this. See if it'll glue. Probably didn't talk to do it on my book, did I? Do it so you can see it then. I just want this other bit peeping out the top. So just get some of this down. Yeah. That's it. My workmen are finished today. I've been doing my kitchen and my bathroom. I've got the big tidy up now, but the workmen have finished all their work, and I'm just in the tidy up stage, but I just needed a bit of a break. My back was hurting me in my head, so I just thought, well, I'll come and finish my video, and then hopefully I can start to take off all the protective covering from the cupboards. That'll be exciting. It'll be nice to see it all finished. We're nearly there. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh, that's just peeping out the top. I don't know what I'm doing on the back yet. I still think that needs a bit of something else, but I don't know what. I feel like it needs an applique or something there. I've got some, but I haven't got them out. Just wondering if a flower or something. I don't know where they are actually. I thought I had some. But I say the reason I've thought about it is because I saw them the other day and thought, oh, I could use them. Are they in here? Got a little pot with some little bits, and I've got some little lace ones, but I'm not sure they're right. Oh, these little things, but they're, oh, that's the one I saw the other day. There we are. That's what I saw. Oh, I do like that. Do I want that somewhere? See, if I put it on there, I still need something up that top. I've got another one there, look. I do like those though. Oh, I've got a bit more lace there. Let's have a look, see if I could make something with a bit of this lace. Do a sort of a cluster straight onto the piece that I'm doing. Don't know whether I don't know how that'll work, but we can try it. Let's see. I'm not sure that's quite the right colour scheme I was looking for, but I like that. I like that yellowy one. I do like that. Just wondering, could I have that upside down there on that corner? Oh yes, I do like that. But then what do I do in this? Because I was going to do a bit of a cluster on here. I was just going to do something with a bit of lace. I don't know. I think that'll be too thick actually. I'm having to think of, you know, when I start, I haven't even thought about filling up my journals yet. I was just looking at that though. I do quite like that. If I, you know, cut it down, obviously it wouldn't be as thick as that, but I quite like that. But then I really like that on there. Do I just want a piece of that on there? I started the dog barking now. He's talking to the dog and he's started him barking. The dog. He notices the dog when he's barking. He's darling Oscar when he's being good, and he's the dog. Oh dear. Is that too much? I do like that though. I like that there. Is that going to make that pocket a bit? No, still get things in and out of that pocket. I like that. I like that. I think I'm going to do something like that up there. So I wonder if, let me just have a look. I don't think I need that as big. Or that as big. And then I could just do a little bit more of that. So let's just cut those down a bit. I want one longer than the other though. So let's just have a look. Just chop a bit of that off. Still use it somewhere else, and then a bit of that off. And just see what this looks like on here. I like that there. Because it won't interfere with anything coming in and out of there. And then put a little bit of a cluster. Yeah, before I change my mind, I'm going to do these bits. So I'm just going to do this one first. I'm going to get this piece down here. So let me just get some glue. I've had my lid off, so my glue's not wanting to work. So yeah, let's get that down there like that. I want this little bit of the core of the flower, not core, what do you call it, stem of the flower. Oh, I've got an added bit in there. The stem of the flower, not the core. So let's give this just a bit of a coating. I like things when they're going to stick, I want them to stick, as we all do, but I tend to be a bit heavy-handed with the glue. Oh, I like that though. Yeah, because I just thought it needed something else, but I wasn't quite sure what. So yeah, I really like that. I'm still checking that I am still in camera because, oh, I could move my pin cushion out of the way really. I've got things in the way here. That's it. I hadn't put my things away from putting my signatures in. Right, so let's do this first. See, this is quite thick material, so I want to make sure it doesn't come off. And I'm just doing this down here. We are nipping out shortly because the dog, because my little boy needs his walk. So we're going to go for a ride in the car while we can, because we're not sure how much longer we're going to be able to go out and about. We're going to go for a little ride, go and get a takeaway coffee, because we always do. That's our treat, that's all we have. We don't go anywhere else, we don't do much really. I mean, my treat's in here, but you know, we don't do a great deal, so we can't at the minute anyway, but we are quite restricted, so I thought, well, we'll go for a coffee. We usually pop and pick my daughter up, and she walks, well, I won't say she walks Tilly, because Tilly's the little shit, so she doesn't walk on lead. So if we're walking round the streets, and now it's dark nights, we can't really go in the fields and things unless we go in the daytime. So if we go at night, Tilly just goes off. She's not bothered either way. She likes to come for a ride in the car, but she's not really bothered about the walk. Usually when I go to Morrison's, I just whip her out the car on the Morrison's. There's a field at the back of us, at the back of Morrison's, and a lake, but there's also a piece of grass that's well lit up, so I take her on there, and she goes off the lead with Oscar, and she just runs next to Oscar. She's no problem. She doesn't go to any other dogs, and she just totters, but as soon as you put her on the lead, oh, she pulls. She's horrendous on the lead. I say she was, well, I won't say rescue, but she was a giveaway, should we say. We won't call her rescue, because she was loved, very dearly loved. It was just an old gentleman who, you know, when you get to a certain age, you can't look after your animals quite the same, but she was definitely loved. He adored her. I think he just, you know, he couldn't take her out very much, so she wasn't used to walking on a lead. And she's a little monkey. She knows what she wants. She's absolutely gorgeous, but she has a mind of her own. She is a little monkey. When she comes to mine, she knows that she sits next to me on the settee, and she sits one side and Oscar sits the other. She's actually pinched his place and he allows her to, and then so he comes the other side of me, and I have to stroke them both together, and it's hilarious really. So if we're not in the room, she just scratches at the door, which she gets told off for, but she just scratches at the door until we let her in, because she just wants to go sit in that place. But the thing is, if she goes in on her own and we're not in there, she then decides to do what Oscar does and climb in the window. But she's so tiny, she gets stuck. She can't get out. So last time when she was trying to get out, she fell out the window, so we won't let her in there on her own. She's a little monkey. And Oscar does entice her in the window, because then she leaves him alone. He then leaves her in the window and goes off, which is a bit mean of him, but that's what he does. Anyway, just getting back to this. So I've just done a little cluster on that top bit there, just to bring in with that. It's got 2 pockets, so when these dry I'll be putting something in the pockets. So I think I'm going to leave it there for this video, and then I'll do another one straight away. So there'll be another part, so please look out for the other part. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody's support, and I'll be back to you shortly. So in the meantime, keep safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.